Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel Triple Inc. First day of autumn. Might as well start off this new season with an autumnal themed video, if you know what I mean. What? Come on Bradley, you're better than this. Think. Your audience is leaving you. No one cares about this niche stuff that you talk about anymore. They want designer fragrances that get compliments. Come on, what is one fragrance right now that's so popular in the community that everybody loves it, it's respected, it gets compliments, and it's sure to get you views? Wait, why wouldn't I just do that? Acqua di Gio Profumo. Yeah. Well, that made my job a lot easier. Let me pack up here. Thought I got you guys with that one for a second, right? Not to rag on this one's actually really solid juice. Very good stuff. I'm not even sure if anybody even does starting lineup videos anymore. They have kind of fallen out of style more or less, but I personally still enjoy showing y'all what I am wearing in a particular season for all these different varieties of occasions. And just like last year, I'm going to be showing you guys my favorite fragrances to wear for each different occasion. For the autumn here, I've been away at university now for almost a full month, very much getting acclimated to the surroundings here and kind of meeting all these new people, and I sort of feel like my fragrances are reflecting this new journey of my life and sort of the discovery, if you will, maybe, of just a few new things around campus, and it's just been a really great time. So I sort of got some fresh new faces in here that I'm really excited to show y'all. I will say fall or autumn is probably my favorite season of the year. I just am in love with the changing colors on the leaves of the trees and just how everybody seems to be in a great mood, and it's just a very comforting time of the year where you just want to be with the people who you value the most and just have just great connections. And the weather starts to cool down as well. I get to go with some more experimental scents, which I think is awesome. So I gotta love the fall. It's just really a great time of the year. And these fragrances, if you guys aren't aware of how a starting lineup works, I've done a few of them on my channel before, but to really briefly go over, I'm going to be showing you all my signature scent, my work scent / school as well, because I'm also a college student, and I'm also going to be showing you my casual scent, my date scent, my formal suit and tie scent, my daring scent, and my night out scent. So a lot of different categories here to cover, and I feel like there are some fresh new faces that I'm really excited to show you. So without further ado, let's get into the list, starting off with my signature scents. Of course, the king of fall, Habdan from Parfums de Marly. This is the fragrance that I would like to think got me into the niche game, so to speak. Before I go any further with the signature scent category, let me redefine this category actually by itself. Signature scent for me used to mean my most worn scent, the one that I could reach for in any of the other scenarios which I just listed. However, I want to sort of redefine this category. For me, a signature scent now means the fragrance that I most wear with a purpose. It's not necessarily the one that I reach for the most in terms of like a numerical value, but it's the one that for me captures the essence of a season and what I would like to portray out to the world for my personality through scent, if that makes sense. So something that I really just wear with a purpose that smells like the season. For me, that's what the signature scent now means. Habdan was my first love from Parfums de Marly and pretty much my all-time favorite autumn scent. This one is very unique and just makes a huge statement. Habdan opens up with a crisp green apple and ambergris combination up top, which is very fresh and mimics almost an autumnal breeze that is blowing through an apple orchard. And now this freshness up top is embellished with a robust and spicy saffron accord, which is sweetened up nicely with some dark woods and smoky resins, such as myrrh and frankincense. And of course, you can't forget the delicious and decadent caramel, which adds just the perfect autumnal touch to the composition. Habdan will be the strongest performer on this list, barring the daring scent. I get about 15 plus hours longevity with this fragrance every single time, with at least 5 to 6 hours of outstanding projection. Habdan just always gets me noticed whenever I wear it. Doesn't really matter if it's indoors or outdoors or the temperature of the weather. It just always seems to get me a notice, which is great. And I've accumulated so many fond autumn memories with this in the past few years that I just can't let this one go. I have to put this one as my signature scent. It just really means a lot to me. Very sentimental at this point. It's a love for me. 10 out of 10. Habdan, my signature scent. All right, next let's go with my work / school fragrance. It's actually my scent of the day, rocking it right now. This is 1899 from Histoires de Parfums. This is a candidate for my best pickup of 2018. And yeah, you guys may be asking me, why did I get this little dinky bottle? You guys know I love my smaller bottles, my travel size. This is something great that I can just put in my pocket, take it to work, bring it with me in my backpack. It's not too cumbersome. It's pretty sleek, I would like to think, and I just really like this one. So I'm getting a lot of use out of this one this fall, I can tell you that much right now. Now, many claim this to be a niche version of Spice Bomb from Viktor and Rolf, and I can definitely see that, but here's how I have this analogy, sort of, or this comparison. I've likened Spice Bomb from Viktor and Rolf to, let's say, a Ford Mustang. It's very bold and aggressive and loud, but kind of commonplace, if you will. It's not very unique or special, where this is undoubtedly a niche version of that, and I would liken that to, let's say, an Aston Martin, used to be owned by Ford. An Aston Martin, what do you think of? You think of class, you think of luxury, you think of sophistication, and overall just a smooth, just seamless design. That's really what I think of this when I think of 1899. It's a very well constructed scent, so that's sort of my metaphor or my comparison for the two. 1899 is much smoother all around than Spice Bomb. It's not as piercing or aggressive. It has some cooler woody tones in the opening thanks to juniper and bergamot up top, and has a very full-bodied and natural smelling cinnamon throughout the entire scent. And of course that velvety, smooth and sweet dry down with gourmand nuances thanks to this trifecta of iris, yellow amber and vanilla. Now, I want to reiterate, the iris in here does not come off powdery, at least for me. I think it just comes off very smooth and rich. It's a very likable scent. It has a subtle sophistication to it with just a little bit of a seductive edge, which I think is nice, and it's, you know, suitable for those professional and close encounter situations. I get a consistent 8 to 10 hours longevity from this, which is nice. But, you know, from time to time, I wish it had a little bit more projection. Sometimes it just seems to stick a little bit closer to my skin. This is definitely a great all year round signature scent worthy type of fragrance, but I think this one works best in the autumn because of these spicy notes, the cinnamon in here. This is definitely my favorite spicy fragrance from my collection, and also my favorite use of cinnamon in a fragrance. Okay, now let's go with my casual scent. This is the only designer of the list. But, you know, if this designer is making up here with all these other niche scents, you guys know this is some really good quality stuff. This is Boss Bottled Oud from Hugo Boss. This is just a great autumnal scent. It really just smells like the great outdoors to me. It has a great woodiness to it. Imagine the oud in here masked over beautifully with the blueprints, if you will, of the original Boss Bottled. The green apple is a little bit more present, a little bit more striking in this one than it was in the original for me. And like I said, the oud in here, it comes across very woody and natural in the opening. This one does get sweeter with time, which I do appreciate, and you know, it has a little bit more of an emphasis on the spices as well. Mainly cloves. Yes, it has a cinnamon in here as well, but the cloves really add a rich, earthy, dark spiciness to the composition, which again I did not get from the original. This is a very much slept upon flanker. Not a lot of people talk about this one. Mainly a lot of the love goes to Boss Bottled Intense, but you guys need to check out Boss Bottled Oud. It fits the casual situations in fall so perfectly. Something I can just throw on and wear when I'm running errands or just going to the quad or just wanting to visit people. It just works really, really nicely for that. And it has a very good performance as well. Lasts quite a long amount of time, which is great. So for my casual situations this autumn, I'll be rocking Boss Bottled Oud. Alright guys, let's go with my date fragrance or close encounter. This is probably one of the sexiest fragrances I've ever smelled. It is Apple Brandy by Kilian, and just based on smell alone, this one fits this category, this sensual, seductive category, extremely, extremely well. Like many other Kilians, this is relatively straightforward and linear in its scent presentation. Not a whole lot of complexity here, but that does make this in turn very, very easy to reach for. This is no doubt my favorite Kilian to rock in the fall. And man, I gotta say, by Kilian fragrances, they just have this way of smelling just effortlessly seductive and suave and smooth and just super unique and rich. Apple Brandy opens with an authentic and realistic apple-flavored liqueur note balanced beautifully by a well-rounded caramelized sweetness. This could also be described as a warm, boozy apple cider, and this also has a little bit of a oak barrel woodiness in the dry down to tone things up a little bit. The sweetness in here is very comforting and just perfect for autumn, and it also has a somewhat lighthearted but quite literal boozy opening. I'm just going to end with this. A lot of other guys here on campus, they're going to be rocking Acqua di Gio Profumo, Versace Eros, Ultramal on dates, something that girls have smelled a million times over. Meanwhile, I'm going to be rocking Apple Brandy. Alright, it's time to let loose. We're going to be going on a night out. Nothing screams party like a boisterous, boozy scent. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Baraonda from Nasomatto. Now this could be a very strong candidate also for my daring scent. I've never smelled anything like this in a fragrance before, but rather I've smelled something like this in real life, and that would be whiskey. Now, I don't want to spoil too much of it for you. I have an upcoming review of this later this autumn, but this is the full 9 yards of a boozy fragrance, complete with a photorealistic whiskey opening, a sour, almost fermenting fruit accord in here, as well as a caramelized sugar note. The dry down reveals woods, white florals, and musks. I just gotta say, this is truly an olfactory adventure at every turn. Projection is on par with that of a nuclear power plant, turns heads whether you want them to or not. I'm just going to say, I view Baraonda as possibly the most artistic and captivating piece in my collection. Alright, now from the night out situation to the formal or suit and tie situation, I have a lot of respect for this fragrance right here. This is Ode Wood by Tom Ford. Many of you guys have seen this coming a mile away, one of the classiest scents that I know. This is easily my favorite oud or woody scent that I have in my collection. I regard this blend and this composition very, very highly. I have a lot of respect for the artistic choices made by the parfumeur. Ode Wood just inspires such a quiet, calm confidence within me whenever I wear this one. It opens very smooth and woody with just a pinch of oud, but it eventually dries down with more of an emphasis on subtle spices and a tasteful use of tonka, vanilla, and amber. This scent structure starts off very compressed, but as it wears with your skin, and this is one that I gotta say, you gotta wear this on your skin because it works with skin chemistry incredibly well. It will decompress off your skin and sort of just blossom and bloom into something really beautiful over time. The spices really start to come out in the dry down, and it just has such a warm and inviting, woody, masculine nature to it. Ode Wood also has the gold standard in performance. For me, the gold standard is subtle projection with unprecedented longevity, perfect for suit and tie situations. It really just gives me that extra boost of confidence that I need when I'm all suited up. I view Ode Wood as classy, sophisticated, refined, and powerful. Alright, many of you now may be wondering what my daring scent is. This one, I gotta say, really pushes the envelope in what can actually be worn or even considered a legitimate fragrance, because this is really out of this world, like absolutely nothing I've really come across before. This is Kiste from Slumberhouse. Now, Kiste is an extremely conceptual scent. I've oftentimes said this is very atmospheric in terms of that it really captures the essence of a particular season, in this case autumn. It really just captures the essence of autumn in a very literal standpoint. From the point of what I mean is, like, it really just smells like the season. It doesn't even attempt to be wearable, if that makes sense, but I really love that about it. Kiste opens up with sun-dried peaches that have been soaked in bourbon, and that quickly transitions into a not-so-sweet honey and smoky tobacco combination with almost a dry, dusty hay type accord, and of course that creamy and earthy patchouli that's in the dry down here. Oh, it's just wonderful. This is not everybody's cup of tea, so to speak. It really has extreme performance, so as if it wasn't hard enough to wear by itself, this extreme performance makes it even more difficult to pull off. I will say Kiste has really a nice charm to it, a southern charm, if you will. I'm just going to end with this. I label Kiste a dangerously unpredictable fragrance, and it is undoubtedly the most daring and unique that I have in my collection. So I'd like to thank you for tuning in and watching this entire video. Let me know what your guys' picks for your favorite autumn fragrances, your starting lineup. It's going to be a great autumn here on the channel, Triple Ink. I got a lot of really awesome videos planned for you guys, so be sure to stick around so you can check those ones out. And until I see you guys next time, have a great day. Peace.